welcome to the Christmas episode of the Game Dungeon. Today we're looking at a ski game. And once again, I'm operating under my old standard that Christmas equals snow. So by that logic, this is a great Christmas game because it is chock full of snow. I'm really not trying to dodge actual Christmas games to look at, but almost every Christmas game I've seen falls into one of two categories. A mini game that you can do in 5 minutes, or some existing game with a Christmas skin on it. There's a few exceptions, but that's what, 3 games? I'll probably cave in eventually and do one of these, but let's just go skiing. So here we are in the ski lodge to pick what you want to do first, which is career mode, because every slope except one is locked off by default. Next, we pick our skier. We have a generic guy in his early 20s. We have a dude bra in his early 20s who looks like he has been carefully engineered by MTV producers to appeal to a certain demographic. But he's probably just going to annoy everyone, including the demographic they want him to appeal to. We have a guy in his 40s rocking a mullet and mustache, is wearing the loudest ski outfit by far, and judging by the style, looks like he could have just kept it preserved since the 80s. He also has matching war paint to go with it. And we have 3 generic women in their early 20s who all look like the same person. So who should I pick? Let's get real, there was only ever one choice. Business in the front, party in the back. Let's go. After visions of skeletons, we're dropped off by helicopter and we're ready to ski. Okay, I have to interrupt here, we have a problem. This game was designed for a 4:3 ratio screen. Now, seeing as how it came out in 2007, it supports widescreen, but really all they're doing is chopping off the top and bottom and possibly zooming in also. So what this comes down to is trying to watch this in native widescreen makes me sick because it's so zoomed in. So I'm gonna split the difference and use that blur effect you see sometimes. I exposed test subjects to this and it made them less sick. So that's what I'm going with. This is probably one of those problems that could be fixed with 2 lines of code, but hey, we don't have the code, so here we are. But this is an arcade style game. You go down the slopes, do some tricks, and the game has stunt challenges or collectibles to grab littered all over. The more of these you do, the more you progress to unlock new slopes. And that's basically the whole game. So, that's the core review. We're done. Have a Merry Christmas. I'm gonna keep going to pad this out, but this is one of those games where you know exactly what you're getting into in the first 2 minutes. I think I better talk about the music for this one. I've actually been cheating, and this is just some generic rock to fill in the gaps. The actual music to the game has a bunch of licensed tracks, and I don't think I care for any of them. It's mostly either light rock, acoustic, or maybe alternative. But it's mostly what I call whiny rock. I don't know the official term, but I'm sure music fans know what I'm talking about. They'll have a simple enough light rock song, but then the singer sounds like he's whining about something. You know, something like that. Here's some samples from the actual game.
I start wondering if you cry or is it just raining? From it just sucks. What a perfect day to commit suicide. What a perfect day to write the story of my life. Goodbye mom, bye-bye dad. I'm glad that I have parents like you.
Now, I'm not against something more emotional, but there's a difference between something really heartfelt versus some guy whining. Even then, you can still make up for that. Okay, just to pick on a band, Stabbing Westward has a lot of whining in their songs. There's no hiding it. But the rest of the music will sound so badass that it kind of balances out. This soundtrack doesn't really pull that off.
Of your heart, make mine fall apart. Please save me off to.
Now looking online, it looks like a lot of people enjoyed this music, which might make me the odd man out. So if you've seen some other episodes and find you hate my taste in music, then yeah, you might really like the soundtrack to this game. But boy, not me. Oh hey, I forgot. Maybe I should mention the title of this game. quick, without looking at the title of the episode, can you remember what it was? Yeah, here it is. Freak Out Extreme Freeride. I've played this game a lot and I've never remembered the title until now. It's always been that ski game. If it was up to me, I would name it Slopes 2007 or something. Keep it easy. And I'm honestly as surprised as you probably are that they included the E in extreme. If popular culture has taught us anything, it's that vowels are not extreme. Maybe there was a copyright issue in doing that. So anyway, I like that ski game. I think it's simple but good. But I'm easy to please. I have a checklist of what I look for in a winter sports game. Nice environments, not have some crippling problem that ruins the game. And that's it. It's a good game, but it does have a pretty major shortcoming, which I'll talk about now. Okay, first off, despite playing things a little fast and loose with physics and reality, you can easily wipe out in this game. We have Ragdoll physics, and for being almost a 10-year-old game, I have no complaints about that. In fact, skiing kind of lends itself to more spectacular wipeouts anyway. Unlike snowboarding, where you just sort of flop around when you wipe out, in skiing you have 4 different pieces of equipment which can cause your limbs to bend in ways you didn't think were possible, impale you. The possibilities are numerous. And on top of the ragdoll system, once you start wiping out, the character just sort of knows he's screwed and accepts his fate. So he tends to default to a fetal position, all things being equal. So this is great. I appreciate what's at stake doing a stunt all the more if I can see what happens once it goes wrong. So what's the problem? Well, the game is a little too impatient is the problem. Say I really screw up and it's not going to be just one collision, I'm in for a whole hillside of pain. Well, the game decides after about 5 seconds or so to just reset you, so you can't see everything play out. This is so frustrating. I want to see the consequences of my actions. Don't cut me off. Look at that. I didn't press anything. Are you kidding me? What kind of message is this sending to players? That if you screw up bad on the slopes, God will jump in and reset you? Nothing to worry about? Give you a high five for effort? No. In addition to not interrupting gravity here, I wouldn't mind seeing a quick medical report of just how bad the damage was. Did I break bones? Tear tendons? Get paralyzed from the neck down? Did I even survive? Yeah, look at that. I don't know. Some of you may have seen the game Stair Dismount, where some stick man falls down a flight of stairs and it gives you feedback on just how much it hurt. There really needs to be a marriage of that kind of system with ski games. I mean, most of them want things to look real, right? So let's do it. I like skiing, though I don't do it very often. Nowadays, I just sort of take what I can get, because you have to get transportation to the slope, coordinate it with other people, the fees for everything are kind of high, and hey, there has to be snow. This is gonna date the video, but last year was the warmest December I've seen in my life. NASA too. I didn't look at charts or anything. I just realized I could walk outside with shorts and a t-shirt, the grass was green, and birds were chirping. It's only a little bit better this year. Damn it, I picked on Australians in a previous Christmas episode, and now they're having their revenge. That'll teach me to want snow. Well, this game has snow, that's why I like it. The last time I went skiing was a little odd. On the road leading up to the resort, there was this booth at the front stopping everyone asking what they were doing there. My friend and I told them skiing, and they let us go. We're still not sure what was going on. I mean, did they think people were gonna bomb the ski slope? Would asking people why they're going to a ski slope really fix that? Why tip people off to begin with? Wouldn't secretly having a bomb-sniffing dog in the parking lot make way more sense if they're actually worried about that? Which they probably don't need to be? What's more is later we left to get lunch, then came back and there was a long stop of one car. Here's the dramatization of what my friend thought happened. Hello, sir. Can I ask what your business here is? Skiing. Anyway, that ended up being a memorable ski trip because that particular resort I think was playing a joke on the skiers. See, most ski resorts grade the hills by beginner, intermediate, or advanced. I'm firmly an intermediate skier. So I went on this lift to a peak where there was an advanced slope and 2 intermediate ones. Cool. Well, when I got up there, I wish I took a camera because it was a full-on blizzard at the top. It was already night. Trees were flying back and forth, snow stinging because it's coming down so hard. And up at the top, there's this group of maybe 20 or 30 people looking like they're pretending to just be casually chatting and chilling out. Except this is not chill out weather. A lot of them are looking around nervously, and I see why. The signs lied. These were not intermediate slopes. They were all advanced. They were way too steep. Plus there was this icy crust that had formed over everything. Not even snow. So what was really happening was more and more skiers were getting stranded on this mountain because they were like me and thought they could do at least one of these slopes, but then one look tells you that's not happening. Well, for some reason, taking off my skis and walking down never occurred to me, so I decided to just do it anyway. I made it, but I got lucky too. If I were to do that slope 10 times with my skill level, it would just be a matter of time before I screwed up, and I'm not sure I'd be walking today. I've never gone that fast without a motorized vehicle in my life. I guess all those other skiers got rescued. I don't know. So back to the game, why am I talking about this game in particular? Well, this came out on several platforms, including PC, and let me say, PC tends to get the short end of the stick on winter games. I want to say most out there have been console exclusives. This one was a 2008 Macintosh exclusive. What? Most of the time, if the PC does get something, it's some formal Olympic event or downhill jump game. Which I guess that's okay for some people, but I like things more wild. Like I'm just going down the side of a mountain. I want to not be sure if my skier will get attacked by wolves or not. As long as I can have that doubt, I'm good. Of course, now we're starting to see some good options, but for a long time there were slim pickings on the PC. I guess there's Shaun White snowboarding, and there's Stoked if you like a nasty vignette filter on everything. What else? Yeah. The point is, having a competent ski game on the PC in the past 15 years is an accomplishment in itself. This game was sort of a light in the darkness. But again, I don't give points for nostalgia, and this may sound crazy coming from me, but I think in time, this game is going to become obsolete also. Most games that doesn't happen to, because even if they're dated, they have other things going for them, like great music, interesting story, a unique environment, and so on. Except for Mullet Ski Warrior here, I'm not sure this game has anything that won't be thoroughly better done either now or in the future. It's a good game, but I think it's one that can be completely replaced given a long enough time span. It's a placeholder in time. Nice. Yeah, get him. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Okay, now I'll end this in saying this game does in fact have an ending. It surprised me. Now, unfortunately, I'm not going to show it to you because you only get one chance to see it. In order to see it again, you have to play through the entire game again, not just the last level. So instead, you're going to get my blurry memory presentation. Okay, so you win the championship or get all the collectibles. I forget what the criteria was. The camera comes back to the ski lodge, then it pans over to the right here, and we see two odd things. First, we realize there's no door. This lodge is exposed to the open snow, so that's kind of odd. And second, we get a dead skier. No joke, he's either dead or seriously injured. Here's how I know. He slumped over the railing with his skis on. If he was just drunk or something, he wouldn't have his skis on. Nobody wears their skis into the lodge. He probably did a trick where he tried to ski off the roof of the building, but it obviously didn't go well because now he's slumped over a railing in the cold and not moving. I think he's dead and nobody here cares. They see dead skiers every day here. Did I remember the ending wrong? I don't think I did, but I guess you have to play the game to find out for sure. So have a Merry Christmas and enjoy the snow. Unless it's raining like it is here. in the mid-northern hemisphere in December. Humbug! Man.